And we welcome you to another edition of This Is Wrestling. It is Lee Versage alongside the one and only Zach McGibbon. Zach McGibbon, how are you?
Lee, Dixie Carter came out on the TNA show, and they were hyping this up as a big return of a legend from TNA's past, somebody who is a key contributor to TNA. And who do they bring out? Not Jeff Jarrett. They bring out Dixie Carter, and Lee, she gets booed. Booed. I felt bad for her that she got booed, but she got booed. And first of all, when they said Dixie Carter, I just I gave out a laugh. It's like, we're bringing Dixie Carter onto the TNA show. Oh, this is great. And then she's trying to cut a promo, and God bless her, but she gets booed, and then Bully Ray comes out, and they have a stare down. Or Bully Ray does commentary later on. So I'm still thinking about the TNA show.
I clearly, 90 minutes was not enough for you in our last show. Felt like I kind of needed to cut you off at some point to just for your own well-being.
Yeah. No, however, I had remembered the Dixie Carter segment. It's like, I forgot to mention Dixie Carter. So I decided to hold on to that until this very moment.
So, however, the good news is that while we have a lot to talk about, especially from the WWE point of view here with, as we record this, SmackDown coming up tomorrow night, and then Saturday night's main event on Saturday in Montreal at the Bell Center. And obviously we're getting close, about a week and a half away from the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. A lot to talk about, including what's going to go on in Montreal. And is Sami Zayn going to be a big part of that? A lot to talk about with kind of a very quick AJ Styles, Gunther career is on the line for AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble. Is it really going to be his career with the WWE? Is it going to be his career in general? What's going to happen? So we'll talk about that, but we just absolutely have to start on a high note, because I feel like after the TNA show, you're a little bit down.
Yeah.
A little bit, not despondent, but like you were not happy with the TNA debut on AMC. So I think we need to start with some more positive news, Zach.
Sure. I'm looking forward to some positive news. I need it.
Well, you do need it. And so we don't get a lot of like really positive news that's actually going to make you happy. So let's just start. Rumors are the Evil's coming to the WWE from New Japan. And I'm like, this is, I almost had a tear in my eye. I almost had a tear in my eye that my man Evil is coming over so Zach can see him each and twice a week, maybe. Big shows. Like, if this rumor is true, man, oh man, this is how you start a show in mid-January on This Is Wrestling.
Yeah, I got inundated with people messaging me about Evil potentially going to WWE. A lot of talk about it. As far as I'm aware, I think it's pretty much confirmed he's going to go to the WWE. There's a lot of people talking about it. So you messaged me about it. A lot of the listeners messaged me about it. Even people that I work with at Quinny Broadcasting who are wrestling fans messaged me about it. It is something that hit my inbox, and I had two different reactions. I had the one reaction where I'm like, New Japan Pro Wrestling is saved. I finally don't have to witness Evil in the House of Torture. At least the main component of House of Torture in New Japan Pro Wrestling anymore. They bring back the old belt. They have the last great banner with Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kazuchika Okada. And they bring in a new guy in Yota Tsuji to try and, right the ship. And now Evil's gone. Now I don't have to watch a House of Torture match where you're not going to believe this, but they run in and interfere with weapons. And one of them spitting whiskey in the guy's face. And the commentator's acting shocked every time. It's like, I can't believe he would do this. This is unbelievable. It happens in every match. What do you mean it's unbelievable? It's totally believable. What are you talking about? And so I had that reaction. Like, finally, I can go back to my safe haven of New Japan Pro Wrestling in peace. and
Yeah.
hopefully see a rebuilding company and something anew, something trying to get back to their roots a little bit. But on the other hand, Lee, this is a podcast that very much touches on a lot of things going on in WWE. And if there's one thing I love what the WWE does is their run-ins. Oh, do they love their run-ins? Everybody runs in. Like legitimately everybody. Wrestlers, backstage agents, the general manager. I'm waiting for Triple H to do a run-in at this point. Like everybody just goes in and runs in their matches. So who better from New Japan Pro Wrestling to come over to WWE than the man that made everybody mad with all the amount of run-ins in his matches in New Japan, to the point where it literally ran people off from the program. There were so many people running in that people wanted to run out of New Japan. So now he's going over to WWE. I'm telling you, you thought there were run-ins in WWE. Oh boy, just you wait until Evil gets that headlock locked into somebody, and then all the members of House of Torture come down, start running down, and starts beating people up. I can't wait for the people that pretend to watch Japan be like, oh, I think Evil and Shinsuke Nakamura is like a dream match. I can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome. I'm so excited for the WWE fans that have not watched a single New Japan Pro Wrestling match. Be like, oh, I think this Evil. He's comes from New Japan, so that must mean he's a good professional wrestler. Because every wrestler that wrestles at New Japan is a great wrestler, of course. So that's why they're not in a downturn right now. So yeah, get fired up, Lee. I'm going to watch Evil each and every week on SmackDown, tying it up with Tama Tonga, and it's just going to be the best show. Everyone's going to love it.
Well, that's kind of where I was going with this, is like, I seem to remember every big show a new Bloodline member running down and interfering. And I'm like,
yeah,
if only we could have a counter to that.
Oh,
And I feel like if Evil and the House of Torture and bring in new members that can interfere with a babyface bloodline.
Oh, not even the Roman Reigns bloodline.
MFT.
The Bloodline B team is going out there taking on the House of Torture. And I can't wait for when they do the eventual Survivor Series War Games match where it's like nobody's allowed in. And then we're going to have 17 people go over the top of the cage and run in and find their way into the cage. It's going to be great. I can't wait, Lee.
I actually feel like we might get a triple threat War Games.
Oh, even better. 3v3v3. Great.
Yeah. House of Torture, MFT, or double B, the B team, the Bloodline.
The B team, yeah.
Plus the real Bloodline.
Yeah. Let's just throw the LWO in there too. Why not? Let's go back to 1996 and do gang warfare in the WWF like they did back then.
It's so funny that you said that, because I was just going to think back to one of my kind of big moments that people don't know in my wrestling history is that I was kind of up close and personal at one of the most famous matches in the history of professional wrestling in Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart with the screw job in Montreal, 1997.
Yep.
If people go back and look at the rest of that card, 1997, and of course there were some traditional Survivor Series matches, and I mean the amount of DOAs and Los Boricuas, and oh god, who was Don Callis's the guys in green.
Oh man, I know he was the Jackal in WWF, but
he had the really tall guy, Kurgan.
Oh, and they had John Tenda dress up with the Cartman shirt on or whatever. I know the Oddities. Is it the Oddities you're thinking about?
The Oddities were another group, but I mean, this was
Truth Commission. The Truth Commission.
That's who I'm thinking of. Thank you for looking it up. The Truth Commission.
Yes.
But you go over that card. So there is a match that had Truth Commission against Disciples of Apocalypse, DOA. So that this match was Jackal the Interrogator, Sniper, and Recon, who
Ooh.
beat Crush, Chains, 8 Ball, and Skull.
Ooh. A main
Let's-
event in any building, Lee.
Let's think about that for 1 second. You also had a match with the New Age Outlaws, the Godwins, the Headbangers, and the New Blackjacks. And then you had a Team Canada versus Team USA.
Yep.
But when you go back to that time, as you said, Los Boricuas were a group, and we had the Truth Commission and DOA. And oh my God, Zach, it just went on and on and on.
Or
Like,
as the WWE fans will say now, when they bring it back, it will be a moment when it happens in
Right.
2025.
And that doesn't even include
Or
like, because they were bigger than the rest of the groups, but they still had Nation of Domination
Yep.
at that time.
Yep. Heart Foundation, of course.
Yeah. Like Legion of Doom. They
Yep.
it was just everyone was on a team.
Yeah.
And it was teams and teams and teams of people. I can't get that. It's tough to get that out of my head when I think about the Bloodline and the B Bloodline, and here
Yeah.
comes the House of Torture,
Yeah.
Evil.
Yeah.
Okay, so that we
Can't
started the program with some good news there, though.
Depending on how you look at it, sure.
Hey, if we're going to get more rants about Evil from you on the program, that's
Oh.
more beneficial for everybody here on This Is Wrestling.
Yeah, this might be like when Goldberg came back, like, oh, this is gonna be great for the podcast, not for Lee or Sage, but it'll be great for the people witnessing the downfall of Lee's mental state as he has to watch Goldberg go in for a hammerlock and try and wrestle for longer than 5 minutes without getting gassed. So, and now for me, I get to watch Evil go out there and I bring out my little stopwatch, like, all right, how long will he wrestle before the first run-in comes into his match? That's going to be me with my little stopwatch. The little stopwatch I saved from or my little counter that I saved from Karrion Kross last year before he got unceremoniously let go. And I was counting how many back bumps he took, his flat back bumps counter. And then I had to dust that off. So I've dusted it off and we're bringing it back for Evil for run-ins in the match. So if it's just Evil, I mean, we might be saved, but I'm hoping it's everybody else of House of Torture. Like, you go get that WWE paycheck and get out of New Japan.
I'm still fascinated that, as big of a wrestling fan as I am and have been for a long time, back to that Truth Commission DOA match, I don't know that I could look it up, but I don't know that I could get more than I know, Don Callis as the Jackal, and I know Crush.
Yes.
Right? Brian Adams. But the Interrogator, Sniper, Recon, Chains, 8 Ball, and Skull. I if you hit me with that at wrestling trivia, don't know if I'm getting it.
Yeah. No.
Do you know any of these people?
No, but now I'm looking through.
Robert Maillet is Kurgan, so wouldn't have got that.
No.
Sniper, Luke Poirier out of Montreal. Okay, wouldn't have known that.
I would not have known that. No.
Recon. Oh, Recon was Bull Buchanan. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. B squared. Thank you very much. That's how I know him.
Sorry.
His sidekick is B squared.
Okay, at least I know Bull Buchanan.
Yep.
Let's go Chains. Oh, Chains is Brian Lee? Come on.
There you go.
Man, I should have known that. Okay, now I feel bad about that one.
The impersonator Undertaker.
And then, yes, I had forgotten about the Skull and 8 Ball were the Harris brothers.
Yes.
But Harris,
I wouldn't have brothers. Yes.
I remember the Harris brothers, but I would not have known that they converted to 8 Ball and Skull.
Yes. Or as they were known in WCW, Creative Control.
Right.
Under Vince Russo, because Vince Russo wanted to make it very obvious this stuff wasn't real. And so Creative Control had to come out there and get involved in the matches. I can only imagine why WCW died.
So, okay, let's get back. One of the things that people would be interested in, probably not about who's on the Disciples of Apocalypse or the Truth Commission back in 1997, but
Yeah.
I'm interested in that. So tough luck. What people
DOA,
will,
not Dead on Arrival in this case. It
No.
is Disciples of Apocalypse.
yeah, no, because we're not allowed to say Dead on Arrival.
No.
So AJ Styles, Gunther at the Royal Rumble with AJ Styles' career on the line. Lot of different, I think, parts of this, Zach. So first of all, were you surprised that they're going to do this soon?
Yes. I was surprised about that. I didn't think AJ was going to last the year in terms of his retirement run. It just felt like the way that he was talking, that maybe be more of a midpoint of the year. I didn't expect it this soon in terms of doing a retirement match, and especially against Gunther at this stage where he had just come off beating John Cena. And, you know, they're trying to build off of the heat from that match, which I don't know about you, Lee. Maybe this is just my observation. The heat is not really sticking with Gunther in the last little bits, you know, in terms of how people are kind of looking at Gunther as the guy who beat John Cena and he's this devastating heel or whatnot. I don't think it's this. I'm not saying he's getting no reaction, but I don't think it's the reaction, this over the top reaction that I think people were expecting when he beat John Cena.
Okay. I think I'm indifferent on this one. Like, I probably don't feel as strong as you do about this, but at the same time, I think he's gotten over.
Yep.
I don't think they've done a great job at booking him afterwards. And like, I kind of knew that they wouldn't.
Yep.
But for what he's had to do since, I didn't love him tapping out strategically against AJ Styles. Other people thought it was brilliant and they thought it was really good storytelling. Okay. I get the storytelling part of it.
Yep.
For sure. But I just wish, it's just a personal thing, I guess. When Brock Lesnar defeated The Undertaker and the Streak, there's still, people still talk about it today and that they shouldn't have done it. But after that happened, we didn't see Brock Lesnar for like, I don't know, however long it was until SummerSlam.
Yep.
And they destroyed John Cena and he won the title. And he was this like, you cannot beat Brock Lesnar guy.
Yep.
Right? And that's what they should have done. Go away, come back, destroy the champion. Now you've beaten The Undertaker. You've won the championship back. You've destroyed the champion. And you are the guy that's unbeatable. I wish they had have booked Gunther that way. They're not. Okay. I think Gunther's done a good job with what has been given to him.
Yep.
So I'm still here for it, but this coming up is going to be, to me, a pretty big deal. So, like I said, a lot of things to this. I haven't heard the word retirement. I've heard the word career. Do you think that AJ Styles is going to be with the WWE after this match?
Man, I don't really want to give a definitive answer because I don't know. And I know how you work, Versage. You're going to get me locked into an answer. It's going to be wrong because my predictions are just so sound. And then it's going to be wrong.
It's coming up to Jey Uso Royal Rumble time, so I understand your hesitancy.
Look, there's a little bit of a past there, and I don't really want to go back to that past. Jey Uso still gives me tremors every time I see him go out into the ring. But I'm kind of undetermined at this point. I know I want to give you a definitive answer, but I genuinely do not know.
Okay, so the reason why I think that this is a little bit different though is because we're not just predicting on a match.
Yep.
We're actually talking about somebody's like legitimate career. Because whether AJ Styles wins or loses or continues on in a feud with Gunther for a while, he is going away relatively soon. Now, I don't know if he's going to TNA. I don't know if he's going to AEW. I don't know if he's going to retire, but we're not going to be seeing, like, there's a difference here in asking you about this part of it as it connects to the match, as opposed to who's going to win the Royal Rumble. Like, we know Jey Uso's not retiring. We just know some of us knew he was going to win and others didn't.
Correct.
Right. So
some of us said 0% chance he was going to win.
Right.
Yeah, and
some
then he won.
Like, I don't know. Like, but
and then he went on a main event run that people, like, at the end of the year, they were starting to say maybe this guy isn't the guy. Like I had said at the start of the year that he wasn't the guy.
That's hindsight, pal.
Yeah.
So I am asking you about, like, not like, we'll get to the prediction of the match.
Yeah.
But like, where, like, in real life, do you think that AJ Styles is going to continue on with the WWE for a while, or what is the next path? Is he actually going to leave after next Saturday?
I have a hard time believing, just in general, that AJ Styles' last year would be with WWE. I just have a tough time really coming to grips with it. Obviously it's his choice of where he wants to go with his career, how he wants to end it. But in my mind, I just associate AJ Styles with, I know he had the run, obviously, the last couple of years, and in fact, a decade at this point now, which is hard to believe that he debuted at the Rumble 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I still kind of associate AJ Styles as somebody with TNA and then going to New Japan and then really kind of helping shape New Japan's run there. So I have a tough time feeling like that he would end his career at WWE. I feel like he would go to AEW. I think there would be plenty of opportunities and matches for him in AEW, even if it's not the same peak AJ Styles from even 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I still think there's a lot of potential money matchups you could do. Like there still hasn't been a resolution to him getting kicked out of Bullet Club by Kenny Omega and the Bucks. That's an easy feud right there, that you plop him in there and you have him face off against Kenny Omega and say, I've come back after 10 years to finally confront you about you kicking me out of the Bullet Club. Like, that would get me fired up, Lee.
Okay.
Like I would be interested in that. In terms of this match in particular, I also have a tough time believing this is going to be the last of AJ Styles. I feel like there's still a couple more months with AJ in WWE. Unless something breaks over the next couple of weeks where it's revealed that his contract is expiring at the end of the Rumble, and that's why they're doing this match now. That's the deal. They couldn't come to terms on a new deal, but even, I just don't see this being his final match. I really don't. I have a tough time coming to grips with this at this stage.
Yeah. So I don't even know what to believe. You see these, you do see some stories. Of course, he signed, as you said, at the Rumble, and he's always kind of had the contracts in January. I just read another story that I don't know if it's true, but his contract does expire in February. Doesn't mean he hasn't, got a new one, or maybe it's a 6-month contract, or maybe it's one till the end of the year, whatever it is. Like, there's lots of possibilities, and I don't know the answers to those questions. But what I have a hard time believing is that AJ Styles is going to stick around and just not lose to Gunther. And then what? They're going to have another career match at WrestleMania or something? You know what I mean? Like, like, where is it going? And I was listening to some things today. I guess I want to throw by it because I think it's a legitimate that Gunther beats AJ and he's gone, but he doesn't tap him out. And it's Gunther that wants AJ to come out of retirement because he wants to beat him like he beat John Cena. And it's actually driving Gunther crazy that he couldn't beat him that way. So he gets AJ out of retirement to come back, and maybe they have like a banger at WrestleMania or something. But
right.
I don't, from the WWE's perspective, if AJ Styles is not resigned and he is going to go away, I would have Gunther do it to him too. You hear the rumors about Chris Jericho coming back. Like I'm lining these guys up for Gunther to knock them all down.
Yep.
That's what I would do. But it feels really quick. Like AJ Styles' career's on the line as we sit here in 9 days. Is that it? Like, and when you hear the word career, does it mean WWE career?
I think it would mean WWE career.
As opposed to like actual retirement.
Yeah. I think AJ Styles is too big of a name at this stage for him to just be gone in a match like that. Be like, all right, we'll send you off into the sunset. Thank you for all your years contributing to the WWE and professional wrestling. I feel like there would be a bigger send off for him if that truly was his final match in professional wrestling in general. I feel like it would be if it's like a loser leaves town scenario where it's like, all right, you're out of here, got on out to WWE. I understand why WWE would want to have it be the career match if it was a WWE career, because then they could say, this is where the real wrestling is or whatever. Like, we're the number one top dog. So even if AJ Styles goes to, AEW or God forbid TNA at this stage, based on last week, but if he goes to TNA or even New Japan, if New Japan wanted to kick the tires on him again and bring him back for another run and help, with their top talent, I think they would want to make a statement of, his career here is done. He's just going to go back to working these lower level, promotions that we view as lower level,
But don't you think AJ Styles at some point is a Hall of Famer? WWE?
Yes.
So they'd have to bring him back after whatever happened.
Unless WWE is aware he's going to AEW and they're not happy about it, which would be petty, but they have been petty before. I'm not saying that's what's happening, just for the record. I'm just throwing it out there as a...
Okay, so, and without holding you to... I can't wait for next week's Royal Rumble predictions from you.
God.
I'm really looking forward to those.
Yeah.
But this is not one of those situations. So I am asking you, and I will chime in as well. Like,
yep.
What do you think is actually going to happen next Saturday? It's hard for me to, and I like this about professional wrestling. It came up quick. Like, my gut says that he's going to lose, but isn't going to AEW or TNA right away, and will sort of be around, and they'll work a storyline that he will wrestle, like he'll wrestle at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I think it's believable, even if they tell people that he doesn't have a contract, because his contract runs out in February, signed a deal at the Royal Rumble 10 years ago. So obviously his contract would be up at this time of year. I think that's a believable thing. And he could just sign a 3-month contract or whatever he wanted to, right? To get to WrestleMania. I just have a hard time believing AJ Styles is never going to wrestle again in the WWE after next Saturday. But I also can't see him winning this match.
Yeah.
And if he actually beats Gunther, and I don't care how he beats Gunther, I don't care if Evil runs down and takes Gunther out.
Well, that would totally add a new complexion to finally his New Japan rivalry with Evil and AJ Styles can be reignited in WWE.
But I don't care if like 19 guys come down to cost Gunther the match. Having Gunther lose in a career match after he just retired John Cena just
doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So to me, there's two options. It's like AJ Styles is really leaving, or AJ Styles is going to lose, and they're going to work an angle to get him back on television for one final WrestleMania thing with Gunther, who can't stand that he didn't beat him the way he wanted to beat him.
Right.
those are the options for me, but I just can't see AJ Styles winning this match. Do you think they do I hate to say it because the answer is always yes with the WWE, but do you think they do like a funky DQ or something?
Yes. Yes.
Like a weird, I guess, like.
See, you know what I was thinking in my head, Lee? I was thinking double count out and we don't actually have a winner and we have to extend this feud for later into February.
That
Could you imagine?
Awful.
That would be.
So do you think that Gunther tries to tap AJ Styles out so badly and he can't get him to tap that he ends up like when AJ Styles, like, I don't know, gets to a rope or something and Gunther simply just does not let go and loses by disqualification because he ends up choking AJ Styles out. But he did it outside the ring. He did it with AJ's foot on the rope or whatever. And he ends up getting disqualified because he won't stop.
I see. You're essentially a variation of the kicking too much ass finish is what you're trying to tell me. You know,
I love me some. I'm too much of an ass kicker to win.
Yes.
So
we gotta ring the bell because you're kicking too much ass here. You're not kicking. You're not getting to the bell in time. So, you know what? I hate it so much that I could see them absolutely doing it. So, sure, why not?
See, and I hate to say it, but I could too. That Gunther loses his mind that he can't get him to tap like John Cena did or something, and Gunther just goes like in a rage mode.
Yeah.
And then AJ's going to win by disqualification. And then they sort of goat along for maybe even another 3 months that AJ's career and maybe Gunther's career is on the line, like at WrestleMania, like do something like that where then AJ Styles is going to go away. Right. I just can't see him going away.
Yeah.
In 9 days.
It doesn't add up to me, especially with Jericho coming back. And if you wanted to reignite the Y2AJ stuff, which I know only lasted 3 weeks when it actually happened. And it was hilarious when they just broke it up in the 3 weeks after that. But people still remember that tag team because of how, there was some chemistry there. So, I just have a tough time buying that this is AJ Styles' last match, unless there's something that comes out saying, like, I know you're mentioning that maybe his contract is done in February or whatever. But if there's something that leaks out where, if there's something that leaks out of, maybe we'll learn about it on WWE Unreal later on and how they actually worked all of us. And it was all part of the show.
Looking forward to the R-Truth segments coming up.
That's going to be
for.
The ones I'm looking forward to are R-Truth and the Seth Rollins, quote, ruse of the century.
Yeah.
Can't wait to review that. And by the way, for those that don't know, we are reviewing every episode of season 2 of Unreal. So
excellent.
Get fired up. I won't be, but get fired up. Especially once we get to the ruse of the century and how they're going to try and explain it.
You see, but you're downplaying that. You not being fired up actually is entertaining and fires the rest of us up. Right? So
fair enough. Especially after that TNA review last week, I could see that. So,
right.
So look forward to that. The next couple of episodes. I really can't wait for Triple H to just look at me through the screen and say, "No, we're a company that makes moments, and we think about creating stories that go on, and there's no days off here in the WWE."
Right.
And so that's why we had to fool everybody with the ruse of the century. So many people were fooled. Like, look at all these marks on Twitter that, got baited into what happened with the ruse of the century. Can't wait to be, talked down to by Triple H in this series. So it's going to be great. Can't wait. So
there's a lot to look forward to reviewing these shows. That'll be awesome.
Yeah. Each episode is just me getting more depressed and mad at the state of WWE. But having said all that, with the AJ Styles stuff, I just have a tough time. I have a tough time thinking this is his final match. So I'm going to say there must be some sort of wonky finish that they've got cooking up there in that creative team that they're like, oh, this is going to be a moment and we got him is what they'll say, and we're going to
what if like I'm just thinking out loud here. Little Ed Sheeran.
Yep.
What if Gunther beats AJ Styles, but doesn't tap him out or, the way that he wants? And then AJ Styles comes out to make sure that Gunther doesn't win the Royal Rumble. So now you have Gunther mad that he didn't beat him the way he wanted to, and AJ Styles costing Gunther a chance to be in the main event of WrestleMania, gets Gunther to say, "You're not retiring yet, pal."
Yeah.
Is it weird to say that I'm really cheering for Gunther to simply beat him and he to be gone so that we can try to get to what you just said? Like AJ Styles showing up in AEW would be incredible. And, you and Ben and all kinds of people have pointed out, like, there's a million stories for that guy in AEW.
Yep.
Million people for him to wrestle.
He's one of those guys that I would hope would jump from WWE to AEW, because I think he's just a perfect fit for that company.
Yeah.
But I was just going to point out, too, it is funny when we're discussing WWE and finishes, we're not like, maybe Gunther beats him clean, or maybe AJ beats him clean. We're all like, maybe they do this and then they go outside and then maybe he doesn't hold on too long and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's how we think about WWE finishes. Yep. It's like, how much more convoluted can we get that we could really get this over?
But maybe it is simple enough to say that Gunther will beat AJ Styles clean and he'll be gone because his contract's
maybe that would be very refreshing. I would love that. Just beat him. You want to really get this guy over? Just beat him and beat him to a pulp.
Yeah,
is what I say. But like, here are the two options you presented to me, Versage. A variation of the kicking too much ass finish. And the other one is, let's just bastardize the career stipulation where we go back on it 2 months later and then have another match.
Yeah.
Those are the two options you presented to me. And you're like, oh, which one can we go with? How about neither of them? I don't want any of these options. They'll both sound bad.
Yeah.
I need to be at that creative room right away. Get me at that table and I will yell at Bruce Pritchard if he's the one that brings it up on that creative team.
Okay, so I tried to present ideas to you.
Yes.
Of what I think they would do, not what I would do, but
no, I understand.
Okay, so I will then tell you this. You want to be in that creative room?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you that AJ Styles is going to be around for a little while longer through WrestleMania. What would you do? Now that this career is on the line, Zach, you're in the writer's room right now. What are you suggesting they do next Saturday? Knowing, the rest of the people don't know, but that AJ Styles is going to be around through WrestleMania.
Well, I would make sure to say, hey, maybe if we're keeping this guy around, maybe we shouldn't do a career stipulation at this stage.
No, Zach, it's already been announced.
Negotiate with Triple H.
You don't get to do that.
Bruce and Michael P.S. Hayes, Doc Hayes, or whatever he was. Doc Hendricks.
Zach, it's a real pain in my ass to book this show in the first place. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've already booked it in a career match. It's a pain in my ass.
Yeah. Man, it's just too predictable. Let's just change it up. It's like
what I'm referencing, folks, is in episode 1 of season 2 of Unreal, Bruce Pritchard basically, he said it was a pain in his ass to book Backlash because it's so close to WrestleMania that it really burdened him.
Yeah.
So that bothers me.
Bruce. Poor, I was going to say dude love, but it's brother love. Poor brother love.
Yeah. Yes. So that actually pained me that Bruce Pritchard said that. But what would you do knowing the career stipulation is already there?
And I'd scold the writers team.
Yeah, you want to be in the writers room?
Yeah.
Here you are.
Not right now. After the pay-per-view. Yeah, but I want to be in the writers' room just to scold these people. It's like, guys, you really overthink too much. Like, I will do the Kenny Omega and say, I didn't even want 80% of you here. Like he said to the roster way back when, as a joke. But I would be serious about that. So it would be tough. It's like, all right, well, we've got ourselves in a bind here, folks.
We booked ourselves into a trap already.
Real pretzel here. You know, if only there was 10 more writers that we could have figured this one out and maybe, you know, not get ourselves with this pretzels. So if we do have AJ Styles here, maybe he doesn't have to wrestle for the next 2 months. Maybe he's one of the key rivals of Gunther, and maybe he's the one, because I know you guys, as I'm sitting here in this around this table, I know you all love your run-ins and you want to make sure everybody gets their shine and their moment. So maybe, as you mentioned, Lee Versage, maybe Gunther does beat AJ Styles and he does retire. But, and that's like the thing that's like, okay, this is the thing that's preventing him in the ring. But maybe you could call somebody up from NXT and somebody represents AJ Styles. It's like, all right, I can't wrestle anymore, but I've got a great young talent here that can step up to you and fight you, Gunther, because you've been facing all these legends of the past, but I'm here to bring the future to WWE, and I'm here to give the acknowledgement, and his name is Leon Slater, Lee. Leon Slater's coming in, and he's going to beat you, Gunther, at WrestleMania. That's my guy. He represented TNA, and now he's here in the WWE, and he's going to beat you, Gunther, at WrestleMania, and I'll be in his corner cheering him on. Well, Leon Slater, there's more of a connection with AJ Styles. I'm trying to make moments here, Lee. I'm trying to make stories. I'm trying to think of the long term. All right. It's all about the long term in WWE.
Okay. All right. I see your vision. Yes.
And then you could build up Leon Slater, the fiery underdog, is going to face off against Gunther. Because if there's one thing Gunther's really good at, is beating up smaller wrestlers. And he can, you know, get more out of, some of his best matches were against undersized guys.
Yeah.
So why not a Gunther versus Leon Slater match if you want to do it? That's what I would pitch to those creative members and just be like, all right, you've booked yourself to a bind here, folks, but we can build a new star here today. And I could say, I could go in there and say, look, you were able to screw over TNA. Good job, guys. Now we have Leon Slater on our roster. Great job on getting that visa issue thing out there to the public. Good job, guys. You're very good at getting your messaging across on that. So let's build up a new guy in Leon Slater. That's what folks, I'm saying.
I apologize for putting Zach into the room. I should not have done that. I apologize, folks.
I wouldn't have even gotten all the way through. Triple H would have pressed the button for security, and then I would have gotten Ron and Don Harris coming in and taking me out of the building.
Is that 8-Ball and?
That's right. Creative Control would take me out of the room. And
so, what about this? I'm just thinking about, as you presented my two options, I'm going to present you another option.
Yep.
Oh my God. I would actually, this would entertain me, but
oh boy.
So all of a sudden, Gunther's going to, like, he's got AJ Styles. He's got him in the sleeper. Doesn't look like AJ Styles is going to make it. And the lights go off.
And it's Sabu.
And Zach.
Oh no.
The countdown comes on.
Oh boy.
And all of a sudden, Judas hits in the arena. Here comes Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho gets in and starts beating on AJ Styles, getting Gunther disqualified.
Oh.
And Gunther is now very pissed and has two guys that he wants to retire in the next 3 or 4 months. And Chris Jericho and AJ Styles, you get your team, Y2AJ, and you get Chris Jericho in a top feud with Gunther and basically making Gunther look really bad, him and AJ, for like months until Gunther retires both of them. No?
Are you becoming the Judas in your mind, Lee? Is that what you're claiming here?
We're gonna have a 2-on-1 handicap retirement match at WrestleMania, and Gunther's gonna beat them both.
Great. and both of them will have their hand tied behind their back, and they'll only have one arm to work with.
Blindfolded as well.
Yeah, and blindfolded, of course. You know, AJ will have his left arm, Jericho will have his right arm to work with. And that's how we're going to do it. And people are
see?
like, wow, I that's creative. That's so different. That's something. That's a moment right there.
All right. I do. We can
Moments,
get
Lee.
side-
Instagram reels, TikToks, engagements,
we
likes,
can, we can get
reshares, comments.
we can get sidetracked sometimes. So
Like a WWE creative meeting.
we sit here on Thursday, Friday night SmackDown. Saturday is Saturday night's main event. We got the Fatal 4-Way. We got Trick Williams. We got Randy Orton. We got Damian Priest. And we got Sami Zayn. It's in Montreal. And they've gone out of their way to make sure that everyone knows that Sami is like 0-11 against Drew McIntyre.
Yep.
Is this a fait accompli? Montreal? Sami Zayn wins, gets the shot at the Royal Rumble.
I think that's
And
what it's set up for.
Okay. And if so, do you like this?
Yes, I do like it. I do like it. For all I have given about Triple H and this writing team and how much I want to be in that room just to really school people,
Mhm.
I do kind of like how this is being built as something different. Because, you know, going into this at the start of the year, I thought with the tease at Survivor Series, War Games, where they had the stare down there with Cody and Roman, that I was looking at it as like, okay, I think we're getting Cody Roman 3. But I don't think we're getting Cody Roman 3 now. I think they have legitimately pivoted off of it and said, all right, we got to do something different.
Mhm.
So for all the crap I give them, and it's a lot, I will give them credit for saying, you know what, this is probably not going to work as well as we think it's going to. Let's try and change it up and try and go a different path. So I like it. I like Sami Zayn going after Drew McIntyre for the title. I think he's going to win the match on Friday, I guess I should say.
If he wins the match on Friday and goes into the Royal Rumble, I know we'll wait for Royal Rumble predictions, but
Yep.
Does this go against kind of what we think about and I'm asking this about ourselves, right? Like we criticize them all the time for not going with the younger talent and going with the old grizzled veterans. But when they go with an old grizzled veteran that we like, it's okay. It's good booking.
Yep.
Right. So I mean, I'm cheering for Sami. I hope he wins. I hope he gets his pop in Montreal on Saturday night's main event to get his shot at the world title at a major pay-per-view that's in Saudi that obviously is close to his heart as well, which would be a big deal for him.
Mhm.
I'm cheering for the guy. But should Trick Williams win this as like the next guy? And are we picking our spots because we like Sami? And if it were somebody else that was a grizzled old vet that we didn't like as much, should it be the young star in Trick Williams coming up to get the shot? What do you think?
It's an interesting way you lay that out. I think the big factor in that is the reasons why we like those grizzled veterans is because Sami Zayn is a good wrestler.
Yep.
And I think the story has always been he's never been able to get to that WWE championship. And so I think people want to see that. And I don't think Trick Williams is dead in the water if he loses here. So while I understand the point you're making, I also think it just comes down to who Trick Williams would be facing. I think it'd be one thing if he was facing Sami Zayn, obviously. I think more people are invested in a Sami Zayn run than a Trick Williams run, and going after the title. But as you mentioned, if it was Randy Orton, going in,
oh my God,
I think I would be okay with Trick Williams winning that match.
But that's the thing. And that's why I bring it up, because I was going to bring that exact example to the table. If Randy Orton wins, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I couldn't be less interested in Randy Orton winning. And that's not they got me because I don't want Randy Orton to win. It's no, I legitimately do not want to watch.
Yeah. Lee, I might get Randy Orton versus Evil this year. Think about that. We might get Randy Orton versus Evil.
I didn't think about that before.
It just popped in my head. I'm like, oh my God. I'm going to have to come on this show and review that match when it happens.
Mhm.
Every hold, every twist of the wrist, every knee to the body part, going to be, fine technical wrestling right here.
So
great.
I mean,
And
I
that's before
shudder
the
to think
run-ins too.
if Randy Orton's going to win this match.
Yeah.
I don't give Damian Priest a lot of hope in this match, but good for him if he wins.
Yep.
So to look beyond, I'm not asking like for predictions because now we don't even know who's going to win this match, but let's hypothesize for a minute and say that Sami Zayn does. I'm going to guess he doesn't win the title at the Royal Rumble. But that to me shouldn't be the end of that story either. Like, I think Sami Zayn could win the Royal Rumble at that point after losing the match to Drew McIntyre. I really believe that.
Yep.
Especially in Saudi, like losing that match and being so devastated and entering the Royal Rumble, and all of a sudden he comes in. He doesn't have to come in at 1, but like come in at 3 or 4, and it's like, no, he's got no chance after wrestling and losing to Drew McIntyre. And then he wins the Royal Rumble. I would love that. But do you think that that's even possible? Like, let's just say Sami Zayn wins on Saturday, has the shot at the Rumble and doesn't win the title. What then? What's next? Or is that it? Drew McIntyre goes back to like the Codys and the Romans and the I mean, I doubt he would go to Punk, but
yeah, it'd be weird to kind of go back to Punk. I mean, that whole thing with Sammy being in the final and facing off against Drew. I think that doesn't have to be the end of the story per se, right? Like, you can find ways to work that match where you give him the hope spots and you tease that to your audience. Like, that's a good thing to kind of tease to your audience of, he's so close, and you want it, and he's just so close yet so far. He's got to work back up, and you put in people's minds that he's almost there. He can almost get to that level and win the championship.
And then here comes Kevin Owens to hit him from behind, and we get
power bombs him onto the apron,
and we get a Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match into WrestleMania.
That's right. That's right. I had forgotten that they had their match last year at Elimination Chamber because everyone talks about that Cena heel turn.
Yeah.
And everybody loved that match.
Yeah.
I didn't love it as much as other people did. I thought it was a little too much on the melodrama side. But if they wanted to go back to that's an easy story they could get back to, for sure.
I wouldn't want to see that again because I think it's boring. Like, we've seen Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn so much.
Yeah. And we've seen them in a whole bunch of different scenarios too. Like, they're a tag team now. Now they don't like each other. Now they're friends. And like, we kind of went through all the scenarios, but we haven't seen them take on Evil. So that's really the new scenario that they could go with. So
I'm really hoping that when Chris Jericho comes back, they do revisit or do something else to expand on his best friend and Kevin Owens. Like, some of my favorite stuff.
Yep. The Festival of Friendship League. How come my name's on this? Lifts it up to show the list of KO.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed that segment.
Yeah, I love the Festival of Friendship.
You see, a lot of the times, and here's the thing with folks is like, oh, that doesn't seem like it's up my alley. But sometimes there's things that's just so ridiculous and so out there that it is funny. And they know that it's so ridiculous and out there that it's funny. That's why a lot of Jericho segments hit for me, is because they're so ridiculous. And it's like, they know that it's so over the top that it's hilarious.
Right.
The problem with a lot of the WWE segments where they try to be funny is that they actually think this is really funny we're really getting some great writing here. And it just doesn't come across that way. So that's why I'm like, well, this isn't very good because they think it's very funny, but it's not good material. But in the case of Jericho stuff, they're like, they just play it up and go over the top with it. So
Reminds me of Edge and Christian back in the day, of like
Yep.
just going so far over the top that it ends up being really funny.
Yep. Yep.
That's exactly it. We can talk about this next week as well, like leading into the Rumble. But I thought it was interesting. I didn't quite get the feedback that I thought I would get when I sent the clip to, a good set of wrestling minds in the group chat. And JD was also on that chat.
Ouch. Poor JD.
Oh, I wouldn't say poor JD. He's really happy to get a coach on his team that is known for losing in the playoffs, because his team never makes the playoffs. So at least when they get to the playoffs, he'll just find ways to lose in the playoffs as opposed to losing before the playoffs. But that's good. Step up for him.
Yep.
The clip was of the national championship game between Indiana and Miami. And what a story.
Yeah. Oh, it's the whole thing with Fernando Mendoza and Kurt Signetti, of course. Like, just
it's insane,
what a story
actually.
that is for Indiana.
Hadn't ever won a national championship in football. Hadn't won a Big Ten since 1953. And they
one of the
winning.
losingest programs in all of college football's history.
Right.
Like, all they do is lose. And they come in 2 years. Signetti joins that program and they go all the way to a national championship. And they're only the second team to go 16-0 in college football history. The other was Yale before the forward pass was invented in 1894. Like, insane.
And did you see that the only NCAA team to ever win the title and go undefeated was the Indiana Hoosiers? So the only two teams that have gone undefeated and then won a national title are both from Indiana.
Crazy.
I think that's wild.
Crazy.
But the point I'm making is not about college football. It's about that ESPN had to read their promo for the Royal Rumble coming up next Saturday. And there was
Reese Davis.
Reese Davis, who is incredible, by the way, at his job.
Oh, yes.
He is amazing. And Kirk Herbstreit, who apparently went to WrestleMania with his daughter, which is awesome.
Yep. Sorry, not Reese Davis. He was the one that does the pregame shows. It's Chris Fowler that did the
Chris Fowler.
Yeah, my bad.
No, my bad for not knowing. I should have known. Chris Fowler is incredible. Incredible.
Oh, yeah, Chris Fowler's great. I love him.
But the whole point, you were kind enough, which I appreciate. You were kind enough to send back like a LOL crying emoji, which you don't even know.
I gave the ha react.
Yeah, but you don't even know what the ha was for.
It was for the read, I assumed. The read was pretty great in that it was very
but that's not what I was trying to get at, Zach. So the fact that you were politely responding, which is more than the rest of the group did, but you don't even know really what you were responding to.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you
whether they didn't sell.
I'll ask you on a public platform.
Yep.
If you remember the read, how many people did they say were going to be there? Do you remember?
Oh, it was just the one, right? it was just Cody Rhodes, right?
It was just Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes will be there.
And that's it.
And that's it. Not even like, Roman Reigns.
Did they just give away who's going to win the Royal Rumble?
Ooh.
On
maybe.
ESPN?
That'd be
They literally said, like, next Saturday, the Royal Rumble. They did the whole read. Cody Rhodes is going to be there.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love it. I took it as a check mark of me saying Cody Rhodes is a bigger star than Roman Reigns. So I took that as a win for my argument there. But
okay, but did they give away the winner of the Royal Rumble by basically saying that one guy is going to be there? Why would you ever say that? Or did they go off script?
Maybe they told him to just spice it up. Name off all the wrestlers, and Chris Fowler's like, I know Cody Rhodes.
I just think it's really weird. Yeah, but on that big of a stage, right? You get a 15-second read on a live event of a national championship game that everyone across the country is tuned in on. and the only guy that you'd say is going to be there is Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
That's it. And Cody Rhodes was the first guy to announce himself as into the Royal Rumble because he's not in this, I guess 8-person, but now 4.
You know what? Maybe that's the kayfabe. Maybe they were keeping kayfabe because it was only Cody that announced he was in the Royal Rumble. And at that point, they hadn't announced the other entrants. So he can only say Cody Rhodes is in the Royal Rumble.
You're being silly.
Now I'm being silly.
I will ask you seriously.
Okay.
Do you think is there anything to read into that promo when they only said that Cody Rhodes was going to be there? That's how they're selling the event, is Cody Rhodes will be there. When you purchase and watch the Royal Rumble on our platforms that we're actually pissed that we actually are involved in now as a company,
yes,
ESPN,
correct.
Cody Rhodes will be there. Is that a mistake? Anything to read into it?
No. The more I think about it, the more I think maybe they were just keeping kayfabe and just like, he's the only one announced. So you got to respect the business, brother. That's all I'm thinking. I think there's a little bit too much thought to a 15-minute liner that Reese Davis like, oh, damn it. Indiana's driving down the field. Like,
Zach. You're getting a little carried away. I know it's late, but first of all, it was a 15-second, not a 15-minute. And second of all, it was Chris Fowler, not Reese Davis.
I apologize.
Yeah, and it was Chris Fowler, not Reese Davis. He said 15-minute and Reese Davis. Zach, get it together.
Oh, jeez.
Okay,
so
Chris Fowler.
15-second liner from Chris Fowler.
All I'm going to say is if Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble, I am going to come back to this and say I told you so.
Okay.
I am, because I don't think it's an accident that it's the only guy that they said. They didn't say anybody else. Like, tune in to this event and watch Gunther win.
Yeah.
When the only guy they said was Cody Rhodes, I'm telling you, I think it's a little bit of insight. Investigative journalism by me. But apparently went over all of your heads, all you smart Mark wrestling guys on the chat, and JD. Man, nothing. Eh? All right.
No, all right. I'm not feeling it. I'm not buying it. I will not accept it if Cody Rhodes does win at the Royal Rumble. I truly believe it's just he was the lone person that was announced for the Rumble, and Chris Fowler doesn't know any better, and he's just like, he's like, he's looking at his liner and he's like, God.
So you think
really have to read this? Indiana's on a
there are
drive
major
here?
mistakes and guys going off script on national championship games?
Mm-hmm.
It's all willy-nilly. Hey, Chris, do whatever you want. You think that's happening for real? Or is this exactly what we want you to say, word for word?
Oh,
all right.
Triple H is not that much of a genius. Come on now. They're not sitting in that damn room. Just, you know how we could really get one over on the marks that watch this program is we give it to Chris Fowler. I think his name is Chris Fowler. It could be Reese Davis. I don't know. But Chris Fowler, we'll give him a 15-second liner. We'll just give him the winner. And then we'll go, ha. And so when we go to season 3 of WWE Unreal, we'll go, we got you. We got you. We came around that table and said, give Chris Fowler the liner on who the real winner of the Royal Rumble is. So we could give a Ruse of the Century Part 2. And we could show, God, we really know how to put one over on the WWE fans.
Well, folks, if you needed a Jey Uso Volume 2.
This is not Jey Uso Volume 2.
Zach, I'm telling you, Cody Rhodes going to win the Royal Rumble. I'm telling you he's going to win it.
Okay, but it's not because of what Chris Fowler said at the national championship.
Yes, it is. I'm telling you, the WWE is telling us who's going to win 9 days before.
Stop it.
So when he wins, then what are you going to say?
I'm going to say it makes sense. He's one of the favorites to win the Royal Rumble.
And I told you 9 days ago that they screwed it up in a liner and they only said one person and they told you who was going to win.
Okay, Paul Levesque, you can keep trying to sell me on this. It's what we do, brother. Like, you can try to do all that if you'd like, but I'm not buying it.
Okay.
I'm not going to buy it.
I'm actually scared that Cody is going to win. And I still think we're going to get Cody saturation coming up.
Mm,
I don't think your biggest guy just loses the title to Drew McIntyre in 3 stages of hell in a normal wrestling match. which is
yeah,
so,
first of all, you have
so,
truly entered hell. Work this hold by entering hell. You've entered hell and worked this hold.
Oh, that's so funny. It's so funny to me.
Oh, this arm bar. God, this is hell.
And then have the last stage of hell be a steel cage match that, of course, there was interference on again.
Of course. The whole structure that's designed to lock people out, you have somebody come in. Yes.
Yeah. Man, being a booker's pretty easy.
Yeah. All I know is I would book it that way. That's what I would say. Oh,
guys, you got this.
But no, Lee, they're sitting around that room being like, you know how we could really get one over on them? We give Chris Fowler a 15-second liner on the national television for the college football championship, for the national championship, and say, oh, we got him, Lee. Oh, we got everybody. Look at that. We revealed our winner and they didn't even know. Oh, we're so smart.
I can't wait till he wins and you play this back like Lee knew.
No, I'm not going to play it back.
I'm going to play it back.
No, I know you will, because you'll be like, oh, see, this is so smart. This is so great. You're like Paul Levesque trying to sell me on this ruse of the century with Seth Rollins. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not going to be fooled on this. And neither are the audience. Neither are the fans. I will not allow that to happen.
Folks, the guy that said Jey Uso could not win the Royal Rumble last year
has
spoken again, saying that this can't happen.
That's different. That's different. That's me going out there definitively and confidently saying 0% chance Jey Uso wins this Royal Rumble. There's no way that he's going to win this Royal Rumble. Totally different. And you know what? I owned up to it. I didn't run away from it. I faced the lights that are shining on me right now. I went to this microphone. I said, all right, guys, lay it on me. I watched it. I had to watch with other wrestlers backstage at Remix Wrestling when that Royal Rumble finish happened and everyone losing their minds that Jey Uso won. And my first thought was, God, the next episode of This Is Wrestling is going to suck, when I had to go through the firing squad and learn that Jey Uso actually won with my 0% chance odds that I gave him. So get fired up. Get fired up.
All right. This is going to do it for another edition of This Is Wrestling. I'd like to go on, but there are other things that need to happen. So Zach, for the meantime and in between time, we're going to have to call it.
That's all right.
You've been brilliant. You've been brilliant.
This is what's waking up early in the morning, and then I didn't have a morning shift, but I had a lot happening today. So this is what a lot of recording and talking has done, is just
it has. But this is when you are at your best.
Yes.
Okay, that I can assure people. But lots coming up on This Is Wrestling. As you said, we're covering the Unreal series. Here's a look, at Saturday night's main event and what's coming up in Montreal on the weekend. And, next week we'll have a chance to get into some AW and leading up to the Royal Rumble on Saturday. Plus, I saw you released another bonus episode of This Is Wrestling. Which one got released this time, Zach?
This one was the top 5 tag teams, and already got some early reviews on it.
Yep.
I heard from Gord St. Dennis, who listened in, and he enjoyed it. He was like, man, that's a tough list to try and randomize. It's like, I agree. It was very tough.
That's why, Gord, Zach and I are the guys to do that. Anytime you're welcome, though, to rank the top 5 country songs. Right. I wouldn't trust Gord to do that either. So you and I will do that as well. Yeah, but you're in Belleville. You would know.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
There is a lot of country going on. I will say that.
Yeah. All right. So that's going to do it for us. Zach, look forward to next week. Should be a big week on This Is Wrestling. Plus, I know not for you because you're working, but a bunch of us going to the C4 show next week as well. The big chill on Friday. So there's going to be a ton of coverage coming up in the next few days and some more bonus episodes. We got the Unreal episode. We'll have lots on the Royal Rumble next week. So tons going on. Appreciate the time, Zach. Always good to catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a lot covered there, and it's always fun to chat with you and analyze everything in professional wrestling. There's a lot of content coming, so get prepared. You got the more bonus episodes, as you mentioned, of the random randomizer, as you called it.
Yeah,
great naming there, Versage. Random randomizer.
Yep. So, didn't hear you come up with the name, so I had to. Yeah.
We're gonna call it WrestlePalooza. And so that's the creative name we'll come up with. So we got that coming up, and of course, as mentioned earlier, we do have Unreal episodes coming up. So looking forward to that. That will also be a slow deterioration of my mental state as we get into like episode 3 and 4, probably. So we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, every of our flagship episodes, covering everything in WWE, AEW. I can't wait to talk a little bit more AEW in the next little bit. New 6-man tag champions in Hangman and the jobbers, as you describe them, and Speedball Mike Bailey and.
Well, I would, because then we'll give anyway. I'll save it. But we'll give the jobbers belt because the guy's leaving the company and we need to get him away. So
that's
right. So who we got, guys? Someone else leaving the company we had no plans for, but we'll put Jet Speed. We'll put the belt on you. You guys are jobbing out every week, so you know what? We'll do something with you guys. Anyway,
somewhere MVP is steaming mad that Speedball's got a belt.
Yeah, that's true. We'll talk more about it. But for Zach McGibbon, I'm Versage. We appreciate you being with us on another edition of This Is Wrestling.